You've been showing up, crushing your workouts, hitting your protein, maybe even tracking your macros. But the scale hasn't moved in weeks. You feel weaker, not stronger. The problem? It's probably not your training, it's your sleep. While you're unconscious, your body is putting in work, regulating hormones, triggering muscle repair, and recharging your nervous system. I'll show you exactly how deep sleep builds muscle and how just one bad night can wreck your testosterone and your workouts the next day. But first, let's talk about what your body's really doing when you sleep and why it might be the most anabolic part of your entire training plan. Here's what most people miss. The muscle building process doesn't happen during your workout. That's just the trigger. Your body doesn't start rebuilding until you sleep, and more specifically, until you hit deep sleep. During slow wave sleep, that deep non-REM stage, your body releases a flood of growth hormone. This isn't optional. Roughly 70% of your total daily GH release happens right here. And without it, your ability to repair and grow tissue drops fast. And that's just one piece. During deep sleep, protein synthesis increases, inflammation drops, satellite cells, the little builders of muscles, they get to work. Your body shifts into full-blown reconstructive mode. Training is the stimulus, sleep is the synthesis. And here's the kicker. If you're skipping deep sleep, whether from late nights, blue light, caffeine, or stress, you're literally leaving muscle growth on the table every single night. And it's not just about building muscle. Sleep is also when your brain and nervous system reset. And that part affects your strength way more than people realize. So let's break that down next. You might be getting away with it now. Early mornings, late nights, 5 hours of sleep, and still hitting the gym. But under the surface, sleep deprivation is wrecking your physiology. And the first thing to tank, your hormones. Just 1 week of restricted sleep, less than 5 hours a night, can drop testosterone by up to 15%. At the same time, cortisol, your stress hormone, shoots up. That's catabolic. It breaks down muscle tissue. And it doesn't just blunt growth. It increases muscle loss during calorie deficits. You don't just feel weaker, you are weaker. Decreased force production, slower reaction times, poor coordination, increased injury risk, and you don't need to pull an all-nighter to feel this. Even 1 to 2 hours less than what your body needs, done consistently, can build up a sleep debt that drags everything down. And here's the part that no one talks about. Most people think they're just tired, but what they're really dealing with is chronic under-recovery. That's what we'll break down next, because what you think is overtraining probably isn't. Most people think they're overtraining, but real overtraining syndrome, that takes months of extreme volume, intensity, and underfueling. What's way more common? Under recovery. You're stacking hard workouts on top of a body that hasn't caught up, and it's showing in all the wrong ways. Here's what to look for. You feel weaker, even though you're training more. You're constantly sore, and it lingers longer than it should. You feel irritable, unmotivated, or mentally foggy, and no matter what you do, the gains just stop. These aren't effort problems. They're central nervous system fatigue, inflammatory overload, and hormonal dysregulation, all stemming from poor sleep. Sleep is the only time your CNS gets to reset. And when you shortchange it, you lose muscle fiber recruitment, coordination and motor control, emotional regulation, and adaptation from previous training. That last one is key. Training doesn't make you better. Adapting to it does. And adaptation requires full recovery, not just food and time off, but real high quality sleep. No recovery, no adaptation. No adaptation, no progress. Most people try to push through this with more caffeine, more volume, more supplements. But you can't out-train a fried nervous system. Which brings up the question we should all be asking. How do you actually optimize your sleep for better recovery, performance, and growth? Well, that's next. You don't build muscle by accident. So why do most people treat recovery like an afterthought? If you want better performance, faster gains, and deeper recovery, you need a sleep routine that's as intentional as your training split. Here's how to set it up. First, fix your sleep schedule. Set a consistent bedtime and wake time. Yes, even on the weekends. This locks in your circadian rhythm and regulates hormone cycles like melatonin, growth hormone, and testosterone. Your body is hormonal, not logical. It follows rhythm, not reasoning. Second, stop eating 3 hours before bed. Late night meals spike insulin, which suppresses growth hormone, and that blunts muscle recovery. You might fall asleep full, but you're short-circuiting your deepest repair window. Third, cut screen times 60 minutes before bed. Blue light delays melatonin and tells your brain it's daytime. If you're scrolling TikTok or replying to emails right before bed, you're not just delaying sleep, you're reducing deep sleep quality. If you really can't avoid screens, use red light glasses or something like F-Lux or Night Shift. Fourth, dial in your environment. Cool, 60 to 68 degrees, dark, and quiet. Body temperature drops are a biological signal for sleep. Miss that and your latency and deep sleep both suffer. Last, supplement only if needed. If your routine is solid, but sleep still feels off, consider magnesium glycinate 200 to 400 milligrams before bed. You can also try glycine. 3 grams before bed has been shown to improve deep sleep onset and REM depth. Avoid melatonin unless absolutely necessary. It's a hormone, not a solution to sleep. And here's the thing, this doesn't need to be complicated. Just like progressive overload in the gym, small, consistent changes to your sleep routine can lead to huge downstream results in energy, strength, and physique. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Recovery isn't just time off. It's what you do with it. And sleep is your biggest lever. All right, let's bring it full circle. You're not hitting plateaus because you're lazy. You're not losing muscle because you're skipping reps. You're not weak, you're just under-recovered. And sleep is the piece you've been missing. Here's what we know now. Sleep isn't passive. It's where growth hormone peaks and muscle tissue is rebuilt. Skipping on sleep tanks your testosterone, spikes cortisol, slows recovery. Most lifters who feel overtrained are actually just chronically underslept. And without deep, consistent sleep, your body literally can't adapt to the work you're putting in. You could have the perfect program, the cleanest diet, the best supplements, but if your sleep is off, everything else breaks. So if you want more gains, better performance, and faster recovery, start by treating sleep like your most important set. Protect it, track it, build a routine around it. Because when you start sleeping like an athlete, your body will start responding like one. If this helps shift your perspective, hit subscribe. It really helps our channel out, and I'll see you in the next video.